year 1336, in the town of Kesh, not far from Samarkand, a boy was born who would shake the world. His name was Timur, son of Taragai, a member of the Barlas tribe. Though not a direct descendant of Genghis Khan, Timur grew warrior on the steppe. As a young man, Timur became skilled in archery, swordsmanship, and horsemanship, traits essential for survival in the unforgiving steppes of Central Asia. But fate dealt him a cruel blow. During a skirmish, he was struck by arrows that left his right leg and arm permanently damaged. From then on, he walked with a limp, earning the name Timur the Lame, or Tamerlane. Yet this disability never diminished his will. Instead, it became a symbol of his resilience. The historian John Darwin observes, Timur was forged in the fire of chaos. His wounds did not weaken him, they hardened his resolve, transforming him into a man who saw destiny as something he could seize with blood and steel. The 14th century was a time of fragmentation. The Chagatai Khanate, once strong under Genghis's descendants, had collapsed into rival factions. Timur seized this chaos as his opportunity. Through alliances, betrayals, and calculated violence, he eliminated rivals and rose as the master of Transoxiana. To legitimize his authority, Timur married Sarai Mulk Khanum, a princess of the Chagatai line, tying his bloodline to Genghis Khan's. He understood that power was not only won on the battlefield, but also through symbolism and lineage. By presenting himself as the restorer of Mongol greatness and the protector of Islam, Timur created an image of destiny. Beatrice Forbes Manns writes, Timur's rise was not inevitable, it was crafted. He built legitimacy brick by brick, through alliances, through fear, and through his genius for making himself appear as the chosen ruler of his age. Timur adopted the title Sahib Kiran, or Lord of the Fortunate Conjunction, a term rooted in astrology and Islamic prophecy. It meant he was destined to conquer. He positioned himself as both the heir of Mongol universal rule and the champion of Islam. His government blended steppe traditions with Islamic administration. While he ruled like a nomadic Khan, his empire was organized with bureaucrats, judges, and governors. His ideology was flexible. To the Mongols, he was the heir of Genghis Khan. To the Muslims, he was a Ghazi, a holy warrior. Halil Inaljic remarks, Timur's genius lay in his ability to manipulate symbols. Timur's early campaigns targeted Persia, a region fragmented by petty rulers. When the city of Isfahan rebelled after promising loyalty, Timur's wrath was swift. Tens of thousands were massacred, and pyramids of skulls were erected as a warning to others. Herat, once a flourishing cultural city, also felt Timur's hand. While he allowed scholars and artists to live, he crushed any opposition. His message was clear: submit and you will prosper. Resist and you will be destroyed. Timur's greatest rival was Toktamish, Khan of the Golden Horde. Once allies, their friendship collapsed into bitter war. In 1391, Timur defeated him at the Battle of Kondurcha, and in 1395 at the Battle of the Terek River, he crushed him completely. After burning Sarai, the Golden Horde's capital, Timur ended their dominance. This weakened the northern steppe powers, indirectly opening the way for Moscow's rise as a future empire. In 1398, Timur crossed the Indus River and marched into India. At Delhi, he confronted the Sultanate's armies. Despite the defenders' war elephants, Timur's strategy of chaining his cavalry to resist charges turned the tide. Delhi fell, and for days it was plundered. Thousands were massacred, and treasures beyond imagination were carried to Samarkand. With this wealth, Timur began transforming Samarkand into one of the most splendid cities of the medieval world. In 1402, Timur faced Sultan Bayezid I near Ankara. Both were expanding powers and their clash was inevitable. The battle lasted all day. Timur's cavalry encircled Bayezid's army, while defections from Bayezid's Turkoman allies sealed his fate. Bayezid was captured, an unprecedented humiliation. The Ottomans fell into civil war for over a decade, delaying their expansion into Europe. Roger Savary wrote, "Ankara was Timur's masterpiece, an exhibition of cunning, patience, and devastating force. Timur's strategies were a mix of Mongol speed and Islamic discipline. He used feigned retreats to lure enemies, encirclements to trap them, and terror to break resistance. His armies were highly disciplined, with divisions for heavy cavalry, light cavalry, infantry, and siege weapons. Christopher Beckwith describes them as the most efficient war machine of their age, terrifying in reputation and unmatched in execution. Despite rivers of blood, Timur invested in art and architecture. Samarkand became a jewel of Islamic civilization. The Ghuri Amir Mausoleum, Registan Square, and countless mosques and gardens reflected his vision. His descendants, the Timurids, became patrons of science and art. Ulugh Beg, his grandson, built an observatory in Samarkand that rivaled anything in Europe. And Babur, his great-great-grandson, founded the Mughal Empire in India, carrying Timur's legacy far into the future. Even in old age, Timur dreamed of conquest. In 1405, at nearly 70 years old, he launched a campaign against Ming China. His army marched across Central Asia in the dead of winter, but before reaching his destination, Timur fell ill and died in Otrar. His death ended the last great attempt to revive the Mongol Empire. Without his leadership, his vast empire quickly fragmented. Timur remains one of history's most debated figures. To some, he was a ruthless butcher who left cities in ashes. To others, he was a patron of art and a founder of dynasties that shaped the future of Asia. Justin Marazi writes, "Timur was both a hammer and a brush, destroying with one hand while creating with the other. His paradox is the paradox of empire itself." If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video. Follow us for more heroism in history.